I'd blown $12,700 on flights, an Airbnb, and private transfers. At the gate, my mom looked at the screen and her face froze. "Wait, where's your ticket? This must be a mistake." Her voice trembled, but her eyes held a disarming stillness. Then my brother James walked up, Zoe's hand in his, my ex. "Hey, I switched you out, bro," he said, a casual shrug. "She's coming instead. No hard feelings. Left your favorite pizza at home." I said nothing. My mind went blank as my fingers found my phone, the thought of their mobile wallets, their entire trip, suddenly searingly clear. They didn't know it yet, but I wasn't even close to being done. "Wait, where's your ticket?" My mother's voice cracked, as if genuinely caught off guard, yet her gaze never wavered from the screen, eerily composed, as if this moment had been meticulously rehearsed. We stood at the gate for our flight to Palermo. I had meticulously booked every detail: the premium seats, the Airbnb with the charming courtyard and its fig tree, the private car from the airport. The itinerary had been sent 3 times, uploaded to a shared folder, even printed a hard copy because Mom preferred paper. Now, she tapped at the airline app like a novice, feigning confusion. "This must be a mistake," she whispered. Behind us, passengers surged forward. Group 2 was already halfway boarded. My own boarding pass remained open on my phone, glowing like a receipt for the life I believed we were building together. Then I heard it. A soft, sickeningly familiar laugh. I turned. James, my brother, strolled toward us, dragging a carry-on, his other hand clasping Zoe's. She was wearing my hoodie, the one she'd forgotten to return last winter, the one she used to sleep in on Sunday mornings when we naively thought things were still salvageable. She didn't release his hand, didn't flinch from my gaze, just offered a quick, practiced smile. James casually raised a hand, as if we'd just bumped into each other at brunch. "Hey, I switched you out," he said, his tone unnervingly light. "She's coming instead." He gestured to Zoe as if she were a punchline to some inside joke we all shared. "No hard feelings," he added. "Left your favorite pizza at home." No apology, no awkward laughter, just that flat assertion. I looked at Mom. She didn't speak, didn't need to. I didn't reply. I reached into my coat pocket, unlocked my phone, and everything clicked into place. Their mobile wallets, the tickets, the car, the apartment, all of it was tied to me. They didn't know that yet, and I was far from finished. They had never said thank you, not once. Not for the upgraded flights to New York when Dad had knee issues. Not for the 2 months they crashed at my place after their kitchen pipe burst. Not for the $3,000 I'd given James, just until the scholarship cleared, a sum I never mentioned again. It started subtly. Mom would ask to borrow my points. "Just this one time," she'd say for a Charleston weekend. I'd book it. She'd return with a tan and a ceramic mug that read, "Blessed." Then came the escalating favors. "We're thinking of Europe next year. Could you just check what your card covers? You're so good at finding deals. You always manage the logistics." They never explicitly asked me to pay. They simply cultivated the expectation that I would, a quiet, constant pressure, like steam gradually permeating a room until the walls began to sweat. I used to justify it. I had no kids, no mortgage, a well-paying remote job. They had their narratives. James still finding himself, Mom exhausted from caregiving, Dad perpetually between something and something. So I'd cover it silently, a quiet complicity that made me an enabler. That year, I spent Christmas alone while they went to Aspen. The Airbnb was in my name. I found out when the host called to confirm hot tub use. They sent me a group selfie. Matching snow goggles, wide grins, champagne, captioned the Core 4. I wasn't even angry. I just muted the group chat. They returned, asking if I'd help book next summer's trip. No mention of Aspen, no explanation. And still, I helped. I don't recall the precise moment the line snapped. Perhaps it was when I noticed Zoe's name in my brother's Venmo history. Tiny, innocuous. She'd sent him $14 with a pizza emoji. I stared at it for a long time. Or maybe it was when Mom sweetly inquired if I'd mind resending the Airbnb code for Sicily, just in case her phone died. I should have seen it, the way she avoided eye contact when I reminded her to upload her passport copy. The way James said, "Don't bother buying wine. Zoe prefers red anyway," then abruptly changed the subject before I could ask what he meant. Zoe and I had broken up 6 months prior. No major fight, no known betrayal, just a gradual drift. She'd claimed she didn't feel like a priority. I was always tired, always helping someone else. She moved out in January, leaving a box of books but taking the hoodie. James said nothing, simply helped me carry her bookshelf to the curb. That night, we ate pizza on the couch in silence, the same pizza he later claimed he'd left at home for me like a souvenir. I'd spent weeks meticulously planning the Sicily trip, booking 3 separate flights for flexibility, 2 bedrooms, and a fold-out couch. I paid for the airport transfer because Mom hated buses, made dinner reservations, and out of habit, added Zoe's favorite gelateria to the list, then deleted it. I was going alone. That was the plan, until James called, claiming he missed traveling with me, that he was in a better place, that we should do this as a family. Like we used, too. So I said yes again. The charges began piling up. $3,400 for flights, $5,200 for the villa, $20,700 on private transfers, tickets, museum passes. I kept track, not because I needed to, but because I had a spreadsheet. That's just what I did. I was the organized one. 2 weeks before departure, Zoe liked one of my old Instagram photos. Me in a blue shirt she once said made my shoulders look strong. I didn't give it much thought. Maybe a drunk scroll, maybe she missed me. A few days later, James asked if I could double-check that his name was correct on the ticket. I sent him the confirmation. He didn't respond. The night before the flight, Mom texted me a packing list. "Remember to bring power converters," she said. I sent a thumbs up. She replied with a heart emoji. I packed slowly, rolled my shirts, charged my Kindle, taking the small suitcase, because I didn't plan to bring much back. At 5:30 a.m., the car arrived. The driver was polite. "You've got family coming," he said. "Yeah," I replied. At the airport, I handed over the booking reference. The agent smiled, scanned. The code. 1 passenger. "That's odd," I said. She tilted the screen. "My name, no others." I stepped aside, messaged Mom. No reply. Then I saw her, by the gate, checking in. James beside her, Zoe trailing behind in my hoodie. I walked toward them slowly. Mom looked at me as if surprised to see me there. "Wait, where's your ticket?" she asked, blinking. This must be a mistake. But she wasn't looking at the screen. She was looking right through me. James smiled. "She's coming instead. Figured you'd understand." He gripped Zoe's hand tighter. "Left your pizza in the fridge." That's when something inside me shifted. Not rage, not sadness. Something cleaner. I took out my phone, logged into the banking app, opened the wallet dashboard, selected 3 names, and froze every access. They don't know it yet, but that was the last time they'd ever fly on my dime. I didn't go home. I went to a hotel. Near the airport, booked 2 nights, paid in cash, and turned off my location. I ordered a bottle of water, stared out the window, and waited for the panic to arrive. It didn't. What came instead was silence, as if someone had finally turned off the perpetual noise. At 10:42 a.m., the first message hit. Mom. "Honey, something's wrong with the tickets. We're getting an error at the counter." James. "Can you double-check the wallet settings? Mine's not loading." Then Zoe. "They're saying payment was declined. Are you here? Can you come to the desk?" I didn't reply. I closed the curtains and went to sleep. When I woke, the texts had multiplied. Group chats, missed calls, a voicemail from James. They're saying the booking's been canceled. Bro, this isn't funny. Just fix it. Fix it. That was the role, wasn't it? The fixer. The quiet one. The bank account with a face. I got up, opened the mini-bar, took a single bite of a stale biscotti, then opened my laptop. I didn't. Freeze one account. I froze all of them. Every card linked to their phones, every shared subscription. I even called the Airbnb host and informed him of a fraud alert. He thanked me for the heads up, said he'd remotely lock the door code. Let me know if they try to check in, he added. This kind of thing happens more than you think. At 3:09 p.m., Mom called again, leaving a voicemail. Please, we don't understand. We're stranded. They won't let us board. Then came the shift. James. Okay, man, seriously, you made your point. Enough. Zoe. This is petty. Grow up. I turned off notifications. At 6:21 p.m., James sent one final text. All good. We rebooked. Zoe and I are flying out tonight without you. That was supposed to sting. It didn't. What hurt was the next message from Mom, devoid of punctuation. You really chose money over family. That line. It settled in my chest like a nail. I didn't answer. But I did one last thing. I opened the shared folder they'd used for trip planning. Flight details, maps, schedules, PDFs. I deleted it. Then I revoked access to the family. Drive, removed them all. 20 minutes later, I received an alert. Multiple failed login attempts to shared folder Italy trip. James tried twice more, Zoe once. Then it stopped. That night, I ate at the hotel bar. Pasta, nothing fancy. A tired man across from me scrolled through something on his phone, laughing under his breath. I watched him for a while. He didn't know he was free. I did. The next morning I went home. My apartment was clean. The air felt different, lighter. At 8:14 a.m., the doorbell rang. I didn't need to look. I knew the rhythm. 6 short buzzes, 1 long. I let it ring. Then silence, then pounding. I made coffee. By 9:03 a.m., I had a voicemail from Dad. Call me back today or don't bother coming around again. That was new. He never called unless Mom made him. Now here he was, threatening absence like it was a punishment. I deleted the message. At 10:51 a.m., Zoe texted, No one expected this from you. You always just let things go. She was right, but not anymore. That afternoon, I sent out 3 emails. To the travel agency, confirmed fraud, requested formal documentation of the cancellations. To my bank, requested card replacements with new numbers, no linked family access. To my lawyer, flagged potential unauthorized use of personal funds. No lawsuit yet, just a file. At 7 p.m., I received a new email. Subject, Let's talk. From James. Body, You've made things really hard, but I guess that's who you are now, cold. I didn't reply. I just stared at the word cold. Is that what boundaries feel like? Like winter? Because to me it felt like spring. I moved out the following week. Not far, just far enough. New lease, no forwarding address. I didn't post about it, didn't tell anyone. I carried boxes alone, one at a time. No announcement, no ceremony. They don't even know where I live, now. That's the point. The old apartment still had the spare keys taped behind the breaker box, the ones Mom used just in case. I left them there. Let the new tenant deal with it. I furnished the new place slowly. A mattress, a table, 1 chair. I liked the quiet. I liked that no one knew how to find me. My name wasn't on any shared bills anymore. My number wasn't linked to any wallet. Even the Wi-Fi password was mine alone. I thought they'd go silent. They didn't. 10 days after the airport, an envelope appeared in my mailbox at the old place, forwarded to my office. Inside, a formal notice. An attorney representing family interests claimed financial damages from unauthorized interference in a prepaid group itinerary. The itinerary I booked, the one charged to my card. I read it twice, then laughed. That same afternoon, I was called into HR. An anonymous complaint, accusations of unethical behavior, vague financial misconduct. My boss slid the printout across the desk with a quiet understanding. "We know this is personal," she said softly. "We're not pursuing it, just letting you know." The file was closed before I left the room. By then, the unraveling had begun. Zoe and James made it to Sicily after all, but not to the villa. They had to downgrade. Her Instagram post from a noisy hostel courtyard was up for less than an hour before it vanished. But I'd seen it. I watched the comments roll in. "Thought y'all were in a private place? This looks different from the brochure, LOL." 3 days later, a chargeback notification pinged from the card company. The Airbnb host had reported attempted fraud. They'd tried to get in. The code had failed. They argued. Police were called. I wasn't involved, but I read the hosts. Review: uncooperative guests, aggressive, left without staying. Zoe went private on social media. James deleted his account. The next hit came quietly. A cousin posted a story about Rebecca's canceled engagement dinner. Her fiancé had financial concerns. The venue had required a deposit. My mom had promised she'd cover it. Then my dad's voicemail came, not to apologize, but to warn, "If you keep this up, no one will speak to you again. You'll regret it when you're old and alone." I played it twice, not for the words, but for the tone. A man who knew he'd lost something but didn't understand what. Then, the real collapse began. 2 weeks after the airport, I received a tip from a friend at a credit union. "Your dad's business loan was denied. His credit's shot. Someone flagged suspicious financial dependencies. Internal memo said no verifiable income streams. Sound familiar?" I didn't ask who filed the memo. I didn't need to. One afternoon, I received a message from Aunt Karen. The one who always acted like she didn't hear gossip, just repeated it. "We're all worried your mom hasn't been herself." No punctuation, no apology. The next day, I opened my laptop and found a message from someone I hadn't seen since college. Subject: "Hey, weird question." It was my cousin's ex-girlfriend. We'd barely spoken back then. She used to sit on the edge of family dinners, polite, ignored. Now she wrote, "I saw what happened with the trip with your family. I just wanted to say I left because I saw how they treated you. All of you. You were the only one who seemed aware of it." That one I saved. Later that night, I sat on the balcony of my new place. The chair creaked a little. Cheap metal, not built for comfort, but it was mine. I watched the skyline turn orange, watched the city forget who I used to be, watched it not care. I didn't light a candle, didn't pour a drink. I sat in silence. No noise, no notifications, just the feeling that maybe for the first time in a long time, I wasn't being watched or followed or expected. I was just gone. And that was enough. This morning, I made coffee at 6:17 a.m. I didn't set an alarm, I just woke up. No calls, no buzzing phone, no calendar invites with passive-aggressive captions like, "Family brunch, attendance expected." Just silence. The apartment was still dim, the kind of gray light that makes everything look softer. I stepped, barefoot into the kitchen, tiles cold underfoot, the kind of cold that reminds you you're truly alone, and not in a bad way. I filled the kettle, the cheap one I bought on sale. My old one, the chrome one with the smooth pour, stayed in the last apartment. Mom loved it, said it made her tea feel intentional. I left it behind on purpose. I spooned the grounds, slowly measuring them by feel, not by scale, and watched the steam rise. This one didn't whistle like the old one, but it worked. It was mine. That was enough. I sat on the floor. No chairs yet, haven't bought a couch, no plants, no wall art, just clean walls, bare shelves, and the hum of a fridge I don't have to share. The mug was chipped. I liked it that way. Bought it from a thrift store around the corner, cash only, no receipt. Perfect. I drank slowly, one hand curled around the heat. The mug didn't say anything cutesy, no live, laugh, love garbage. Just white with a small crack near the handle, just like me. At 7:01 a.m., my phone buzzed once. Email, no subject, just an image. A photo from Sicily, James and Zoe standing in front of a boarded-up storefront. No smiles, no filters, no gelato. They looked like tourists who'd gotten off at the wrong stop. Someone must have sent it by mistake, or maybe not. I deleted it. Didn't open the message. Didn't need to. It didn't hurt. Nothing about them does anymore. Last week, a letter came. A real envelope, my full name on it. Mom's handwriting, neat, careful, the way she always addressed birthday cards when she wanted to make it look like effort. She wrote, "We were trying to hold the family together. You tore it apart." No apology, just that same familiar deflection. The idea that my refusal to be used was what broke everything. I didn't write back. I left the letter in the sink, let the rinse from a glass run over it, watched the ink blur into something unreadable, then threw it out with the coffee grounds. They erased me. They just didn't expect me to stay gone. I don't miss them. Not in the way they hope I do. Not in the way that might bring me crawling back with an apology and a bank transfer. I miss who I was before I thought loyalty meant obedience, before I thought helping meant self-erasure, before I let silence be taken as consent. Now I have none of it, and I'm still here. People think the hardest part is the silence. It's not. The hardest part is the realization that they never really saw you, just what came with you. Access, cover, the ability to fix things without making noise. And when that disappeared, so did they. I used to track birthdays, used to send reminders, cards, used to call even when no one picked up. Now I don't. I don't explain my decisions. I don't send updates. I don't check if they're okay. I assume they're not. That's no longer my problem. I go to the grocery store and buy food for one. No bulk packs, no sharing staples. I keep one set of keys in the drawer, no spare. I read books without someone asking if they can borrow them. I watch shows without pausing every time someone walks into the room. I sleep better. Freedom isn't loud. It doesn't throw a party. It doesn't demand recognition. It just exists quietly, like steam rising from a chipped mug in a half-lit kitchen, like an address no one else knows, like the feeling of not being needed and being okay with that. I'm not angry. I'm just not theirs anymore, and I'm not coming back.